Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the entire method of F2L intuitively for you to see case by case so that you can learn this method and get way better at cubing. So let's get right into this. So let me start off by saying that the intended audience for this video is people that do not use F2L or are still interested in learning about the intuition behind F2L and want to get better at it through that process. So the prerequisite for this video is that you know how to solve the cube using beginner's method, where you would solve each corner of your first layer followed by each edge of the second layer. So after you solve the cross, which you should check out this video to get better at, you should be able to solve the first corner and then the edge corresponding to that pair. So this is how a beginner would do it. But the whole point of F2L is that you do that in one step. In this video, I'm just going to be breaking that down, and the prerequisite is that you at least know beginner's method. So the biggest difference between beginner's method and F2L is you're now looking at both these layers simultaneously, and the goal there is that you need to track two pieces at the same time instead of just one. Instead of just looking for the corner, for example, the white, green, orange corner, I would also track the edge, which is the green orange edge that belongs to that F2L slot, so to speak. So this is one slot. Instead of solving 8 pieces to finish my first 2 layers, namely the first 4 corners of the first layer followed by the edges of the second layer, I would only solve 4 slots, 4 F2L pairs, so to speak, to solve the first 2 layers. Now, the reason this is way more efficient is because it's a lot easier to solve these pairs, actually much easier than you think. So let's jump into this video and think about how we're gonna approach this. So the first thing you need to understand is there are 4 different cases that these 2 pieces, for example, can appear in. And also a disclaimer here is I'm just gonna use white cross and I'm gonna focus on the white, green, orange pair for this. But this logic is extensible to any cross color and any pair on the cube. So just for the sake of uniformity, I'm just going to stick with the white, green, orange pair. The first type of case is like this, where both the edge and the corner, this is the edge of the corner, are in the top layer. If this is the case, then you would have, let's see here. So we have 3 corner orientations and 2 edge orientations. For the corner being fixed here, the edge can be in 4 different places. So that would be 4 different places, and the edge can be flipped one of 2 ways. So 8 cases. And then there's 3 ways the corner could be twisted, 1, 2, and 3. Never do this, by the way, I'm just showing it here. So 3 ways the corners can be twisted and 8 ways for the edges to be around the top layer. So there's 24 total cases where both pieces are in the top layer. Then we would have cases where the corner is in the slot and the edge is in the top layer somewhere. So in this case, you would have, again, the edge can only be here or here, because if it's anywhere else, you can just turn it so that it either aligns with the green or the orange in this case. That's 2 times this 3 different corner orientations again, so that's 6 cases for that. And then there's cases where the edge is in the slot and the corner is in the top layer. So for this, again, the edge can be either like this or flipped, and then 3 corner orientations, so 6 more cases for that. And lastly, we have the case where both pieces are already in the slot. In this case, you have 3 corner orientations and 2 edge orientations, so 6 more cases. Also, I will say it's technically only 5 more, because one of those cases is the solved pair, which is not really a case. So in total, we have 24, 6, 6, and 6, but technically 5. So 42 F2L cases in total, technically 41. I know that number seems daunting, but trust me, it's going to be so worth learning it, especially when you do it intuitively. So without any further ado, let's jump into the first category of this, which is both pieces being in the top layer. When you have both pieces in the top layer, I'm going to start with the first set of cases where the corner is facing you. So when the corner is above the slot it belongs to, it's facing you. Remember, for all these cases, I'm going to designate the case based on where this corner is pointing. When it's above the slot, it has to go in, just so it's easier to designate the case. So in this case, white is facing you when you're holding it right above the slot. So when white is facing you, the edge can either be here, 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 or here, and it could also be flipped here, 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 or here. So let's look at all those cases. This is the first case. It's very simple. You just have, as you can see, you have a constructed pair. And this is a very important pattern to note, because this will be the foundation for a lot of your F2L cases, where you'd be using setup moves and other things to make pairs or insert them. The first case is just a solved pair, and the way you solve this is very simple, just like you would beginner's method with this corner. Move it out of the way, get the slot up, move it in, get the slot back. So that's very simple, the first F2L case. Now let's go to the second one. So this is the second case where you have the white facing you in the front, and now the edge is back here. And this is a subset of cases where both the colors on top match. If both the colors match, you essentially want to reduce all 4 of those cases to the first case that we just saw right before this. So I want this edge to come here. The only way I can do that is by hiding this corner without affecting this slot, so I can then move the edge into place. You just need to hide this such that you're not disturbing this. So in this case, I'm just going to hold it here. You can also choose to rotate the cube, but that's up to you. So I'm going to hold it here, and hiding the corner in this case implies moving it away from the top layer. This is not hiding the corner because it's still in the top layer, but this is hiding the corner because now it's in the bottom layer. And now remember, we want the edge here. So I'm going to hide the corner, move the edge where it belongs, and unhide the corner. And as you can see, I've made the pair, and now this is back to the first case. So I can just insert it like that. So very, very simple. As you can see, F2L is not hard. So that was the second case. Now let's look at the third case. In fact, I don't even need a cut here because I can just set up the third case like this. So now instead of the edge being here, the edge is now here, and the colors on top match. Again, if the colors on top match, we want the pair to be made. So it's the same exact logic. You want white in the back, and now you want the green to be here. So think of it this way. Again, I want to hide the corner without disturbing this slot, this edge slot. So hide the corner, move the edge, bring the corner back. So as you can see, we made the pair. We're back to the first case. Simple insert. So this is the fourth case. And now you will start to notice something. This case seems pretty simple, pretty similar to what we've been seeing so far, except now you have the edge right next to the corner. So white is facing you, both the colors match. So this is good. But how are you going to hide the corner without affecting this edge or this edge? Think about it that way. So in this case, when I hide the corner, I will either affect this slot or I will affect this slot, and I need both those slots to be unaffected so I can move this to that slot. So one simple way to do this would be to immediately hide the corner down, move the edge over and bring it back. So now you've got the old case where you had this, and you can just very simply solve it like that. But you may have noticed that is very inefficient. So instead of that, what we do is, so you need to make sure your back slot is empty for this, and if it's not, you can just rotate the cube. You put the pair in the back, you bring the pair down such that you're essentially hiding the edge. You move the corner over and you unhide everything. And this results in a case we haven't seen yet, but I will be getting into. So remember, hold on to this logic and remember this. Now the white corner is not facing me anymore. So it's not a very simple case because we haven't gone over it yet, but the colors don't match. When the white isn't facing you and the colors don't match, it's almost like a double negative because it means that you can very simply make the pair and insert it with just 3 moves. So this is what we had. Put the pair in the back, and then I did this, hiding the edge, moving the corner over and bringing it back. That separated the pair so that it's now easily a case where I can just one move pair it, to one move to insert it, and one move to reverse all of that. That is how you solve that case. Now I realized that we haven't done this case before. So hold on to the logic and trust me, all of it will make sense in a little bit. Now let's jump into the next set of cases. So the white is still facing me, but now the colors on top don't match. So if the colors on top don't match, well, you guessed it, we just saw the logic with the previous case. But if the colors on top don't match, you essentially want the edge not as a pair, but exactly opposite to where the piece is. And the way you determine which side is opposite is you keep white on your side and see the direction that that's going in. For example, when white's on my side here, I see this is the direction of the motion of this pair. So I want this on the opposite side. If white were here and this was a green, then I would want it here because this is the opposite direction. In this case, you have them connected, but flipped. It's almost like a checkerboard pattern. And in this case, what you want to do is you need to hide the corner without disturbing the edge and shoot the edge over to the opposite side. So the way we do this is, again, you need to hide the corner without disturbing the edge. So you put it here, hide the corner, so we'll move it out of the top layer. And remember, we need it opposite to the piece. So hide it, move it opposite, bring it back. And that is now ready to be inserted. So you can very easily see, I'm rotating the cube now, and you can easily see, since the colors don't match, when you do this, they will in fact match, and then you can insert it like that. So very simple case. When they don't match, put it in the back, hide the corner, move the edge over, bring it down, and then insert it like that. Very simple. So let's go to the next one. So the next case is this case where the colors don't match again on the top with white facing me. It's the same exact logic. I need to hide the corner so that the edge moves over here. So in this case, I can hide it either like this or like this. It doesn't really matter as long as I don't disturb that slot. In this case, I'm just going to hide it downward. You can choose to hide this however you want to. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to hide it like this, move this over here, bring it back. So now these two don't match and I've set them up opposite to each other, so I can just rotate and insert them like that. It's a very simple logic, and this logic in fact sets us up for the next case, which is again white facing me, colors don't match, and now this is already set up opposite. So it's a very simple 3-move insert like that. And this also makes sense from the back. You can do it like this, but that's something you'll get better at as you learn more F2L and get better with the intuition. And this is the last case where white's facing you and the colors don't match. So this is a really nice case because what you have to do here is very similarly set up the edge over there. But in this case, I can't hide the corner like this because that would affect this slot. So I have to hide the corner like this, move the edge over and bring it back. So now it's set up opposite, so you can very simply shoot it into the slot. But there's a better way to do this. Instead of that, what you might want to do is rotate the cube and hold it from here, because now you can just solve it into the back slot very easily by hiding the corner, moving the edge over, bringing it back. And now you can see it's a case where the colors don't match and they're set up opposite to each other. So you know it's just 3 moves from being solved, and you can solve it into the back like I just showed you with the insert. So that's a really cool way of doing it, and you should get good at that, because whenever you see a case like this, it's very easy to distinguish. You can very easily recognize this case. So you just put the slot it has to go to in the back, and then it's basically just this to separate them, and then this to insert them. So it's essentially R prime U R, U prime, R prime U prime R. You don't have to memorize the alg, obviously this is an intuitive video. So we're through the first 8 cases where the corner is facing us and the edge has 2 different orientations in 4 different slots. Now let's look at the case where the corner does not face us when I hold it above the slot and see what we have with that. So naturally you might have already figured out that all of the cases, the next 8 cases I'm going to show you, are exact mirrors of the first 8. So you can in theory do the left versions for all of these, and we are almost always going to do that except for a few of them. So let's see what we're going to do here. This is the first case, and as you can see, white is not facing me when it's above the slot, and the edge is matching on top with the colors. So in this case, it's exactly how you do it with beginner's method. I would keep the white facing me, move it away, get the slot up, move it and get it back. Very simple. So the next case is white not facing me. Now the edge is here. And yeah, you've guessed it. Whenever the colors match on top, guys, the logic is the exact same. I want the edge next to the corner. Simple. If the colors match on top, I want the edge next to the corner. If the colors don't match, I want the edge opposite to the corner. That's literally all of these 16 cases can be figured out with that logic. In this case, yeah, I need to hide the corner and bring the edge over. So by hide, I mean move it out of the top layer without disturbing the slot it has to go to. So hide it, move it over, bring it up. And remember, the back slot has to be empty when you're hiding it downward, of course, because you don't want to disturb if you've already solved something there. Now it's a pair, and it's the first case that we just saw. Very simple. Okay, the next case is the colors match on top, white isn't facing me when it's above the slot, and it's opposite already, but I actually want this here. So again, hide the corner, bring it over, unhide it. You made the pair, and just insert it like the first case. Now this is the last case. Now the edge and the corner are basically next to each other with the colors matching and white not facing me when it's on top. In this case, very similar to what we had before. I don't know if you remember. In fact, I just got lucky because that case got set up in the back here with red and blue. But very similar to this case, I need to hide the corner, I need to hide the edge instead of the corner because they're together and I want to use as few moves as possible. So in this case, it's basically the lefty version of this. So for this, if you would put it in the back, hide it like that. So we're hiding the edge, moving the corner over, bringing it back. So now it's set up opposite. So this is just the lefty version of that. So in this case, you can hold it from right here. You hide the edge to the back. Remember how we hid the edge to the front for the last case? In this case, since it's already on the right, the white isn't facing us, you hide it to the back, move the white over and bring it back. That's it. So now we've set up, if you remember, this is one of the first set of cases we saw. With white facing me and the colors not matching, it's already set up opposite. So, I mean, we just set it up opposite. So yeah, hide the edge, move the corner over, bring it back, and then very simply insert it. Now let's move to the next set of 4 cases where the edge and the corner do not match on top. Okay, so this is the first case where, again, the corner is above the slot, white is not facing me, and the colors do not match on top. In this case, you've already guessed it, we've done this with the left, with the other versions, it's just the mirror of that. So again, you want, since they're not matching, you want this opposite, and in this case, the white's on the right, so the opposite is in that direction. You want this opposite to that, so you hide the corner with the back slot being empty. Of course, make sure of that. Move the edge over, unhide the corner, and now the colors don't match. The edge is opposite to the corner, and you can very simply insert it. Okay. The next case is where the edge is here instead of here. So now it's the same logic. I need to get this opposite to this corner. So I hide the corner, move the edge over, bring it back, and insert it very simply. So again, I'm trying to remind you that when you don't have the colors matching, you want the edge away from the corner so that you can just very easily pair it with one move, insert it with one move, and then reconfigure everything with one move. So this is the next case where the colors don't match on top. So obviously this we just saw, it's already set up to be a 3-move insert. And this is the first, if you remember in the first set, I said hold on to one of the cases because it's simplified into this. So yeah, you just align them and insert it. Very simple. And this is the last case. So again, remember, this is just a mirror of that, and you want the edge here, But since it's attached with this, what you can do is put it in the back, hide the corner, move the edge over, unhide the corner. So now you've set it up so that it's opposite, and very easily you can just insert it. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because the colors don't match, so you just want this edge away from the corner. So you just hide the corner, move the edge away, and do that. That's it. Very simple, and then insert it. With that, we finished the first 16 cases of F2L, and if you notice, we've barely spent about a minute per case on average. So that's not even like all the cases. So you're seeing how easy this is, and so far everything's been intuitive, and the only takeaways we have for remembering things is when the colors match on top, you want the edge next to the corner to make a pair. When they don't match on top, you want it opposite to the corner so you can shoot and make a pair. You just need to do one move to make the pair. So now let's look at the third set of cases when both the pieces are in the top layer, where white faces on the top. Now, as you can see, the white's facing on top. When it's above the slot, it has to go to. And again, we will have 8 cases here. So you have the edge here, 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 and here, and then the edge flipped here, 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 and here. So in this case, it's good if the edge and corner are already separated, because you can do something very logical. But when the edge and corner are together, there's other things that you can do that are nice. So let's start with this case. I'm starting with this case because this might be the only case that has something novel about it. When the white is on top, you look for the color match on this part because, you know, it's the same thing. It's effectively the same thing, except you have a white on top, so there's nothing to match. So here the colors don't match, right? Green and orange. So what you do for this case is you hide the edge, similar to what we had with the previous case, where we had the edge and corner together. You hide the edge. As you can see, that's been a repeating pattern when the edge and corner are together. And you move the corner twice over. The reason for that is you're setting it up to this case. So if you notice, what you're doing here is with an R, you've changed the orientation of white to be a corner that with the white facing to the right. So you're trying to reduce it to one of those cases, which means I want the edge opposite to where it would be when I reverse that move. This is the only place where that's true. So when you see this, it's like a very simple trick. It's RU to R prime. And that sets it up to a 3-move insert. As you can see, colors don't match, very easy insert. So the next case is actually the whole logic, the intuitive part behind this set of cases, where you have white on top and the edge is here. So now it does not matter if edges match or do not match, because when they're separated, all you have to do is match the edge with the center, and I'll tell you why this makes sense. So you match the edge with the center. So in this case, orange was on the side, so I matched it with the center. And you move it away from the slot that it has to go to. So in this case, orange has to go down here, so I move it away. And once you move it away, you will notice that this enables you to move this corner over to the edge and reverse it. So as you can see, the previous case had them together and it's set up to an opposite shooting case. In this case, they weren't together. I made them come together. So in this case, you make the pair and you can just very easily insert that pair. We saw this literally in the start of the video. Again, you have white on top and the edge is over here. So you put it here and very easily align the edge with the center, hide it away from where it has to go, and then bring the corner to the edge and then unhide it. So just reverse what you did. That's it. You will make a pair. And that's the logic behind this, is that you're trying to make the pair. When the pieces are separated, you make the pair. When the pieces are together, you make them separate so you can insert the pair. That's how it works. So as you could see, we had the pieces together. We did this, moved it away. It's like the exact reverse of what we are doing now. So that we have the opposite colors on top, so we can just insert. The third case is white on top and the edge here. In this case, you have the same logic. So align the edge with the center, hide it away from the slot it has to go to, move the corner over, unhide it. You made a pair. Insert the pair. That's it. Okay. And this is the fourth case. So as you can see here, this case looks a little weird because what do you do here? Like you have the edge and the corner here together, but they match here. So what do I do here? So now, as a beginner, I would be okay if you did something like this, where you hit the corner, move the edge over and unhide the corner. So that's nice because that sets up this case, which we literally just saw. You can hide it, move it here, make a pair. So that is not the most efficient way to do this, but it's not the worst way to do this. So for now, we will stick with that. So you just hide the corner, move the edge over and unhide the corner. I will say the best way to do this is actually to insert the corner first. And then you have this case, which we haven't looked at yet. So I haven't optimized this for algorithms yet, but if you want that, here is the algorithm for that. You put it here, insert the corner with RU prime R prime. And then you have this case, which is a very, very nice F2L case where you just do RU prime R prime again. And that makes a pair and you just insert it. I don't want to get into algorithms because this is the intuitive F2L video, but let me know if you want a special algorithm for this. I can make a video on that. Now let's look at the next 4 cases. So the next set of 4 cases again has white on top, but now this color matches, so it's not that color. In this case, so this is the first case and you've already guessed it. It's just a mirror of what we did first. So that was R U to R prime. In this case, you want to rotate it so that it's on your left and do L prime U to L. Now, I'm not trying to be algorithmic here, this is logical because again, the logic is to hide the edge with the corner to change the orientation of the corner and then move the corner opposite to the edge so that when you unhide, now these are opposite. So now you can see this case is a case where the colors don't match on top. So you can very simply just insert it like that. This is the second case, white's on top and now this edge is here. So again, you've already guessed this, you know this, I don't have to tell you. Align this with the center, hide it away from the slot it has to go to, move the corner over and unhide it. So now you've made a pair very easily. Insert it. The third case again is they're separate with the edge back here. Again, really simple. Align with the center, hide away from the slot, bring the corner to the edge, unhide it. You made the pair. And this is the last case. So again, you can use the same logic as we did with the weird case on the first set. So you can hide the corner, move the edge over and unhide the corner. And that gives you this case, which we literally just saw. But I will say that's not the best way to do this. There's a few ways to do this case. One nice way is you can actually put it in the back and do a sewn if you know what a sewn is. So you just do RU R prime, U R U to R prime, and that makes the pair and you can just insert it like that with R prime U to R into the back. But you don't have to do that. That's just like a fancy way of doing it. Another fancy way of doing it is doing F reverse sexy F prime to make the pair and then you insert it. But you don't have to do either of those. As a beginner learning intuitive F2L, you can just hide the corner, move the edge, bring it back. And then you have this case. So again, the logic's the same. Align with the center, hide away from the slot, bring corner to edge, move back, insert pair. So yeah, that is all the cases with that there. So now I believe we've covered all 24 cases with the corner and edge in the top layer. You may have to approach cases where both the pieces are in the slot or one of them is in the slot by reducing them to these cases so that you understand what you're doing really. Now that we're past all of the cases with both pieces in the top layer, that's 24 cases done. Let's move to the next 6 with the corner in the slot. Now, with the corner in the slot, we have 6 cases as I discussed, 3 orientations for the corner and 2 orientations for the edge. So 6 cases. Let's just start with the easiest case actually. So the easiest case is where the corner is in the slot solved and the edge is on top. This you just solve like you would with beginner's method and you know how to do this. Move the edge away, bring the corner up, move it in, bring it back. And then just insert it. If you don't know about this, you should check out my beginner tutorial video. It's up here. It's a series actually. And naturally the other case is where the edge aligns with this center when the corner is solved in the slot. So you just move it away, bring it up, move it and bring it back. It's a pair and you insert it. Okay. So that's the 2 easy cases out of the way. Now let's get into the cases that are actually fun. So this is the first case where the corner is in the slot with white facing you and you have the edge here. So there's 2 possibilities here. The edge either matches with this center or with this center. If it matches with neither, you're looking at the wrong edge. In this case, orange will match with the center because orange is facing me. And if you have white facing you and the edge on this side, it's very simple. You hide the edge from the top layer and bring the corner at the same time. So you do an R. And now you see, do you remember this pattern? We did this with one of the previous cases where white was on top. We pair it with the edge and bring it back. So now you made a pair. So very simply just insert the pair. And algorithmically, that's nice because it's just RU prime, R prime, U, RU prime, R prime. But you don't need the alg. So again, the logic for these cases with corner and slot is always going to be to pair the edge with the center. And we did that with the white on top cases. So you should remember that and be like, oh, okay, now I hide the edge and bring the white over to the edge. So when I unhide it, it's paired. So this is the other case where white is facing me, but now this edge aligns with the center. So this edge is aligning with the green center and not the orange. In this case, it's the center right above the white. In this case, the way you do this is, again, it's really similar. I want to hide the edge while bringing the corner to the top layer, just like I had done with that first case. But in this case, if I do this, that's not hiding the edge. So the only way to hide the edge is now to rotate the cube either this way or this way and hide the edge. And now you notice this is one of those cases where white's going to be on the side and I want that edge opposite to the white. So I move the white out of the way and bring it back. So now you can see I've set it up opposite to the white in the shooting direction and it's just a pair. So again, you have this, and I'm going to do this now from the back just so you understand what's happening. You hide the edge, move the corner over and unhide the edge. That's it. You've set up this case, which we saw all the way at the beginning. In fact, I recommend doing it from the back so that you can insert it into the back and then look ahead better for your next cases. But yeah, the logic stays the same. Hide the edge while bringing the corner up, move it over opposite, bring it back. So now once it's opposite, it's a 3-move insert, very easy to solve. And this is just a little bonus for you. Another way to solve this case is actually sledgehammer, reverse sexy. So the reason that works is sledgehammer actually makes the pair and then you just insert the pair. But okay, let's just move on. Let's look at the last two cases with the corner in the slot. So now the white is facing away from me while it's in the slot. And I have the edge that matches up with the center on the right. So this one is again really simple. Bring the corner to the top while hiding the edge. Move the corner away and bring it back. So this is actually the same thing as the thing we just saw, except instead of the lefty version, it's the righty version. So you bring this up. Now you can see this already. You want the corner away from the edge so that when you bring it back, the colors don't match on the top. So it's now just a simple 3-move insert because you want them opposite to each other. And if you want the quick way to remember this is double sexy. So yeah, but you don't have to do that. But anyway, that's how you do it. So this to set it up and then just insert it like we did before. So this is the other case where white is not facing me and now the edge aligns with this center instead of that one. So this, you may have already guessed it, it's very similar to the first case that we saw in this category where you hide the edge with bringing the corner up. That's the same logic throughout all of these cases if you've noticed. And now white's on top, so you want to pair it with that and then bring it back. So you made the pair. And then very easily insert the pair. And if doing it from the back also is better for this, obviously. So you bring this down. So hiding the edge while bringing the corner to the top, pair them up, bring them back. So now it's a pair. You can just insert it into the back right there. So with that, we finished all of the cases pertaining to the corner in the slot. Now let's look at the cases with the edge in the slot. Okay, so edge in slot. There's two ways that the edge could be in the slot. Either it's solved or it's flipped. Let's look at the solved cases first. You'll have 3 of these cases where one, the white's facing you, one it's facing away from you, one it's facing on top. So let's start with the one where white's facing you. This is the really simple case where you can actually kind of see the color match happening here, green and green. So what you want to do is put the corner in the back and think about it. When white's facing you, what did you want? You wanted, if the color matched with this, you wanted it paired. If it didn't match, you wanted it opposite. This is very important because the same exact logic applies to all of these cases. Since here the green matches with the green, I actually want this paired with this. So I want this piece up here. Only way to do that is to hide the corner while bringing the edge into the top layer. Like literally the mirror of what we've been doing. Move the edge over, bring it back. So just like that, you made a pair and you just insert that. So again, white's facing you, edge is solved in the slot. You put the corner in the back because you actually want the edge with the corner and not opposite to it. So you just put it here, move it to where it would be with the corner, reverse that. And you have a pair. Okay, this is the next case where the edge is solved in the slot, but now white's facing away from you. In this case, think about this. So now the colors don't match, right? Orange on top and green here. So these colors don't match. If they don't match, then what you do is, of course, don't recognize it by that fact. Recognize it by the fact that the edge is solved in the corner is not facing you. You can put it in the back and it's the same logic. Orange is going to be on top. When I move this here, green will be on top. They don't match, so I want it opposite to this corner. In this case, opposite is this direction, so I want it here. I need this edge here. So I hide the corner, put the edge there, and hide the corner. So now as you can see, it's set up to be a 3-move insert. Again, white wasn't facing me. I put it here, hit the corner, moved the edge over, brought it back. Also, another easy way to do this is to put the corner here and notice that opposite just means in this slot. So as long as I bring it opposite to the corner, I can do it that way too. In this case, I put it here. I brought this up, moved it in, brought it back, and now it's opposite. Now let's look at the last case. So this is the last case with the edge solved, and this is a really, really nice case because this is literally triple sexy, but you don't remember it like that. You can see the whites on top and the edge is solved. So I would just do a triple sexy, like you don't need the intuition here, but I will give you the intuition as promised. So the intuition here is you insert the corner first, very similar to one of the weird cases that we saw before with white on top and the colors lining up. So I'll insert the corner with RU R'. And now, yep, you guessed it, it's this case where the corner's in the slot. We've seen the 6 of these cases before. Corner's in the slot, white's not facing you, and this edge lines up. So I just do RU R' to set them up. Because remember, hiding the edge while bringing the corner to the top, the colors don't match, so I want them opposite, and I bring it back. So now it inserts. And if you've noticed, we just basically did a triple sexy. Sexy, sexy, sexy. So yeah, that's that case. So very simple case. Now let's look at all the cases where the edge is flipped in the slot. So this is the first case. Now the edge is flipped and white is facing me with the corner. So what I want to do here is I will notice that again, these don't match. Very similar logic. I'm sorry if it's repetitive. But yeah, these don't match. So I want this edge opposite to white. And that's exactly what I will do. So I put the corner in the back. I noticed that when I hide the corner and bring the edge over, which is the opposite of what we were doing before with the corner in the slot case, where we would hide the edge and bring the corner into the slot. I want this opposite to this corner, so I don't want it there. I in fact want it here instead of there. So when I get it back, now you can notice the colors don't match on top. So that just means it's a 3-move insert. Yeah, that's a simple way to do that case. Okay, so this is the next case where the edge is in the slot flipped, so it doesn't line up, and the corner has white not facing me but to the side. So you might have guessed it again. So in this case, these colors don't line up. So in this case, remember, this is like the lefty version of the previous case. So it's the exact same logic. I want this in the back, and then I get the edge to the top while hiding the corner. Since it doesn't match, I want it opposite to the corner, and I bring it down. That's it. It's now a 3-move insert case. So the other way to do this is also to put the slot in the back. And now notice, like, this doesn't match up. So you want the corner here, bring the edge like this, put it opposite to the corner, and then it's just a 3-move insert. So you can do this either way. It doesn't really matter what you choose to do. But yeah, those are the 2 ways to do that case. So the last case is the edge not... So the last case is the edge flipped in the slot, but the white's facing on top, and you can already see what to do here. It makes a pair. So if you have white on top and you bring it over and it matches with this, you know it's a pair. You can just literally remove the pair with RU prime R prime. And now it's beginner's method, just insert the pair. Yeah, very simple way to do it. If you want a fancy way to do it, here's a fancy way, as I have been giving you for a lot of these cases. You put the corner in the back to a sledgehammer, and it makes the pair. So you just sledge insert, but yeah, that's like a little advanced, so you don't have to know that, but yeah. Okay, great. So now that we're done with those cases, we've been through 36 F2L cases. You're almost at the finish line. Don't give up now. Now it's for the last few cases, which are all the worst, I will say. Not all, but like most of them are very long to solve. So yeah, very annoying cases. So let's get into the first one now. So no, that wasn't an awkward pause. This is the first case, guys. The first case is obviously with the corner and edge both in the slot. They are solved. So this is the first case. There's nothing to do here. Like, you can remove it and then resolve. Do not do that. I'm joking. Okay, so this is the first case with the corner solved and the edge flipped in its slot. So this is the only case possible when the corner is solved, because the other case is already solved. So in this case, what you want to do is you need to remove this pair, bring it to the top layer, and that will be the case for all of the in slot cases where the pieces are not solved. So we bring it to the top layer like this. We ideally here want to split them up, right? So these are, you notice this is like a checkerboard pair essentially, right? With the colors not matching on top. So you want to bring it to the top layer, and then you want it to be separated while you remove that, because that is basically saving you the headache of doing this and then dealing with this pair. You're starting to deal with it as you remove the pair. So you do R and then you move the corner over, bring it down. And now we've already done this case. It's the corner above the slot, white not facing you, colors matching. So you want this here because you want to make the pair. Since the colors match, you want them together. So you hide the corner. Again, you need to make sure the back slot's empty. Hide the corner, move the pair over, bring it up, and that's it. It's a pair, very easy, just insert it. So again, you have this in the slot, it's flipped, it's just a flipped edge. You remove it like this, breaking up the pair, noticing that the colors match, hiding the corner, bringing the edge over, bringing it back, and now it's just a pair. So in this case, the white's facing you and the edge is solved, so it's not flipped. In this case, what you want to do is you will notice when you, again, the way to remove this is very similar. You want to remove it and deal with it right away. So instead of moving it away and hiding it, deal with it. Put it back. So now you'll notice it's a white facing me, colors match on top. I want this edge next to it so I can make a pair. So I put it in the back, hide the corner, bring the edge over, put it back. The reason I'm not breaking this down is because we've already done this case. This is what I meant when I said that a lot of these cases will be breaking it down, reducing them to cases that we already know. So in this case, yeah, the edge is solved, the corner has white facing you. You remove it with RU prime R prime because that sets it up to be this case, which we already saw. The same thing applies to the left. So if the corner is facing away from you, with the edge solved. In this case, you want to do a similar thing. Either you can choose to deal with it immediately, so RU prime R prime again, and that's now the white on top case and they're separated, so that's really good because you can just align with the center, move it away from the slot it has to go to, pair it, bring it back, insert the pair. The other way to do it is to not deal with it immediately, so you can do RU R prime instead of RU prime R prime. And now you've saved the pair, so now you know this case as well, because this is a white not facing you, colors don't match, so you want this opposite. So you hide the corner, move it opposite, bring it back. and now it's ready to go straight into the slot. So that's for the cases where the white's facing you and away from you for the edge solved. Now let's look at white facing you and away from you for the edge flipped, and that will finish F2L. We're almost done, guys. We're at the finish line. Okay, this is the first case with the white facing you from the corner and the edge flipped in its slot. So there's a few ways to do this, and of course the logical way to do this is to remove this while dealing with it. So we do R prime. When I say dealing with it, I just mean like influence it while you're removing it and not later. If I do R prime now, it's another case, right? So R prime. So that splits it up, and now you can see it's a white facing me, colors don't match on top, so I want this opposite to the corner. So what I would do here is probably something like hide the corner, move the edge over, bring it back. So now it's set up opposite, so I can just insert it. But of course you might notice that's a little inefficient, but that is, if you have the back slot empty, this is nice because you can do this and then hide the corner downward, and then now you can just insert that. I would just recommend the way I just showed you because yeah, it's just a nice way to do it. Just do that and then hide the corner, bring it opposite, and then just insert it. So here's a fancy alg for this case, which you don't need to know. So you can do R, and then it's this case, which if you remember the fancy alg for this case, it was F reverse sexy F prime. And then you just insert the pair and put it back. This is the last case of F2L, guys. We're at the finish line now. The edge is flipped in the slot and the corner has white not facing you, so it's to the right. So in this case, again, if you deal with it, it's good. So if you choose not to deal with it with R prime by just taking the pair out, then you have this case, which is fine because you can do R prime to split these. We know this case and just insert it. But the better way of doing that is, technically that's a good way of doing it, so I'm not going to say better way. The other way of doing that is to deal with it with R prime. And now you split the pair while dealing with it with white on top, so you know what to do here. Align the edge with the center, move it away from the slot it has to go to, move the corner over, bring it in, it's a pair, insert it. So that was that. And that's it, that's F2L done. So that's the last case. You can either do this, or you can do this. And either way, it's a bad case, so don't worry about it. And I think the fancy way of doing this case is RU, and then F sexy F prime, and then insert the pair. So that's the fancy alg. Again, you don't need that, but yeah, I've been giving you fancy algs for a lot of these cases. So, and just like that, guys, F2L is done. And yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know for F2L. That is the entirety of F2L. That is the entire guide with every single F2L case possible. Technically 41, not 42 cases, as we saw at the end there, because the solved case is one of them. So if you count that as a case, then 42 cases, otherwise it's 41. That is all for this video. I really hope that this video was helpful to you. And if it was, please share it, because a lot of people are afraid of F2L and you really shouldn't be. And I know this is a long video, probably the longest video on my channel, but I promise it's going to be worth it. You should absolutely learn F2L. You will get better at it. Do not hesitate to learn F2L. Learn it now and you can do this. And thanks so much for watching. Do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, because it does take a lot of effort to make videos like this. So yeah, thanks a lot. Stay tuned to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.